think we should start off, though, with Miami and Florida and how great it will be for either side, Timmy,
No
to
doubt.
come out on top. So let's at least spend a minute here on Miami v. Florida because, we've been trading it back and forth with Sirs having fun, but you know how big this game is for both Billy Napier and for Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, it's huge. And you know what? We say that a lot. Every year we hype up games. I don't feel like you need to do any hyperbole with this game. It is massive for the trajectory of both programs. I really believe that. With a win in the Swamp in this game, both teams have a chance to have a completely different season. The ACC is very open, and with Cam Ward and the talent that Miami has, if they can get a big win in the Swamp, that could totally catapult them into a special season. And vice versa with Florida. If they get a big win and then 2 weeks later against A&M again at home, if they could win, that could give that team the belief. Both of these teams have a lot of pieces. Now it's about putting all those pieces together, playing as a unit, having their star players, play to the level that they're capable of. And I'm really excited about this quarterback matchup with Cam versus Graham. I mean, both of them are very talented, have excelled in a bunch of different areas, and now we're going to get to see, both of them go head-to-head in the Swamp in an amazing environment. I mean, let's be honest, this game hasn't, Florida versus Miami, it probably hasn't meant as much as it does this year since maybe when we played them in 2008.
Hey, Timmy, I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, do these kids need a history lesson? Do they understand the magnitude of Miami and Florida? Because I understand what it was when I played back in the day. So I just hope they understand and can appreciate what this rivalry is really all about.
I hope they do. I really do. I hope they understand the intensity of it. I hope they understand the magnitude of it. I only got to play in this game one time, and man, did I love it. Did I cherish every minute of it. I remember I was so exhausted before pregame even ended because I couldn't wait for the game to show up, and it was a night game, awesome environment, and I got to watch so many times growing up, whether that was Florida had a big lead and Miami came back, or vice versa, and so many amazing games. And I hope they just, because one of the best parts about college football is the meaning, the pageantry, the passion, and the rivalries. And hopefully this game on, I think it's the 31st, has all four of those.
So, Tim, talking with the guys in Gainesville, the coaches, the players, sense a kind of a emotion, a little momentum, a little more emotion the last couple of months. Are you feeling that? Do you see that possibly playing out?
Yeah, I think all of those things are true. I think one word that I kind of would see is I feel like they're gaining a confidence, a little bit of a quiet confidence, and sometimes it might be just in that locker room with some guys, but you listen to the way they talk, and it's almost like you're trying to rally a little bit of this, us against the world type mentality, and we need things, mental approaches, and if that's one that they want to take, I encourage it, and I feel like that's something that's growing and brewing there. But I feel like where that has to take the next step is week one, when you actually do it on a field against a good team in Miami.
We're talking with Tim Tebow celebrating his 37th birthday. We'll get back to Miami and Florida before we're done. You will be busy, I'm sure, SEC Nation, SEC Network, everything that's coming up. But on your 37th birthday, and I love this, Tim, because you have been so selfless and have done so much for so many others, and you've taken on a big cause, you and your wife. Demi, tell people what they can do today to celebrate your 37th birthday.
Well, we're in our birthday campaign is the Unknown and Unfinished campaign, and it's for all of the boys and girls that law enforcement can see in abuse videos around the world, but yet they haven't been able to identify them or rescue them. And we know just in this last year alone that there have been over 500,000 unique IP addresses that have downloaded child rape or abuse material of kids under the age of 12. We also know that 55 to 85% of them are hands-on offenders, and your average offender has 13 victims. And so that means when you look at those numbers that there's hundreds of thousands of boys and girls that are suffering at the hands of their offenders. And we just have to do everything we can to protect them, to bring faith, hope, and love, to bring safety to them in their darkest hour of need. And so that's a massive focus for us here for our birthday campaign, but even more so than that, just in life.
And they can go to Tim Tebow Foundation. What's the easiest way for them to do this?
Just go to timtebowfoundation.org and check it out. And it's not about us; it's about all the lives that we get to serve. And if we really just believe that we can move the needle when enough of us wrap arms around the same team. That something like this, there shouldn't be different teams. It should just be one team, and that's the team that wants to stand up for people, to protect kids, and try to do the right thing. Which that's what we believe is loving every single person, especially in their darkest hour of need.
And I tell you, just anyone who does research, you will find out just how impactful you and the foundation have been. And we're talking all corners of this earth that you guys have been able to go to and help when you find out someone or something needs to be done.
Well, we're doing whatever we can. We're fortunate that we're so blessed to be able to serve in just over 90 countries around the world. But that also means right here in our backyard, right here in Jacksonville, a city that we love so much, whether that's with safe homes or special needs care or fighting against trafficking or with the incredible Intercept task forces, just doing whatever, wherever we can. Because, there are a lot of people that have the goal to do harm, but what's encouraging? There's a lot of people that are willing to stand up against it, and we're so grateful for all of them.
Yeah, such important work. Thanks so much, Tim. Let's real quick get back to football real quick, and I want to ask you about this Gator team one more thing. And I know you when you played, you guys may not have thought of this, or maybe you did hear it. Joe was very partial to this, actually. Mm-hmm. The Gators in their win line, Tim, 4.5 is the over right now for Florida wins this season. Do you think players know that? Do you think they've heard that?
Yes. Yeah, I think especially with social media and how much just, this digital age of how much people are consuming, I think they hear stuff like that. Now the question is, what does that do? Does it spur them on to be a little ticked and say, all right, watch what we're going to do? Or do they hear it and do they let that creep into their head and say, maybe we're not as good as we hope we can? And so I hope it's the first, but it's going to be really interesting to see this year. I think when people look at Florida's team, that's not a team without talent. Like, I know there's some pieces they're still trying to get, but it's a team still with a lot of talent. It's a team that at the right time and place, you saw what they could be last year at moments. Now it's about how can you put it together for 60 minutes? How can you put it together at home or on the road? Like, I mean, you look at spurts last year, even a little bit against Georgia. You look at the way they played against Missouri, who was a top 10 team that beat Ohio State. You look at moments, you could say, wow, I could see what this team could be. And especially with Graham being such a veteran, this is really a moment for him to lead and take over and show what he can do. And, the schedule is just brutal. It's one of the hardest schedules I feel like I've probably ever seen. And, but if Florida can find a way to get a little momentum early, they can take a brutal schedule and maybe gain some momentum, and who knows what can happen down the stretch.
Tebow, I want to segue off that schedule because you and I both played for Hall of Fame coaches, and I know my mentality was at Miami that we looked at the schedule. We didn't say that we had to play that team. We said that team got to play us. Yep. I'm sure you when you was at Urban Meyer in those days, when you looked at the schedule, we weren't bothered by the schedule because you knew those teams had to play you, other than vice versa. Yeah,
absolutely. Shoot, I even remember multiple times me and some of the other players, like me and Spikes and some of the guys, going over to Urban in the off season and saying, hey, would you mind, trying to ask and seeing if we could play USC, on a neutral side, or if they would come here, we could go there. We would ask about trying to play Notre Dame or these things. And, we wanted that. Like, we wanted to have those chances. And, now you see so many SEC teams, especially that, week 0, week 1, week 2, week 3, you got, all of these games, the Michigans and the Texases, and you got LSU's, USC, the Florida, Miami. I think it's great for college football, and I do think they should have the mentality that you did, that, that as an athlete, you've got to be confident. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your teammates, because if you don't, nobody else will. And so you've got to have that mentality if you want to be successful, that, no, we don't have to play them. They got to get prepared to play us, and they got to do it for 60 minutes. And that's a mentality I think that most really good teams eventually they get to.
Billy's already brought Billy in to talk to his team. Me thinks maybe Timmy needs to go in there and talk to that team too and get it fired up. All right, one more about Florida. Before I need to tell people what's going on with your beautiful wife as well this weekend. But one more, and I've been talking about this, Timmy, and I know you got to feel kind of the same way. DJ Lagway represents something special. Top recruit, big kid, multifaceted, can do a lot of different things for a team. I could just see Billy trying to create some packages for him a la Leak/Tebow back in 06.
Absolutely. And first I want to say that's not a knock to Graham. I think Graham is a excellent quarterback. It's just that DJ also offers something that's different and unique. In today's football, I really think it's important to give defenses as much to stress about as possible. And DJ adds an element to do that he will make, if used the right way, he will make D coordinators lose sleep. And that's awesome. And I think if you use him, but it's not just how you use him, it's the threat of how you use him, so that defenses have to prepare. And then when they spend more time preparing for him to come in the game, that's less time preparing for Graham and the third down package and Trey and deep shots and all the other things. You can only prepare for so many things. And so I think he adds that element. I also think he adds an element of physicality to this offense, which is good. I think he adds an element of this young confidence, believing in yourself. I think that's another great thing. On top of that, he's got silly talent. And I think all of those are really good pieces that just complement this offense and complement Graham. It doesn't take away from him, but at the right times and places, I do think that he can add to this offense.
100%. I think Gator fans definitely should be looking forward to that. They should also look forward to seeing, meeting your beautiful wife, Demi Leebo. She has the book out, A Crown That Lasts. And I did see the piece when she was on the morning show a couple days ago. And she will be at Books A Million in Marsh Landing, Jack's Beach, on Saturday at 1 p.m. Are you running security for that?
Oh, absolutely. And guess what? I'm so proud of her. This book is amazing. She's worked so hard on it. I can't wait to celebrate with her there and all the people that are going to show up. And I just know it's going to make an impact and encourage so many people. And I tell you, when I got to read it along the way, there was a lot of laughs, a lot of tears. But I just know it's going to encourage a lot of people and truly their purpose and their identity. And I just couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, she tells some real powerful stories. You can see Demi Leebo at Books A Million, 738 Marsh Landing on Saturday. You can go and Google and get all the details, but you can find the book, A Crown That Lasts, on the Books A Million website or many others. Listen, Timmy, always great catching up. Hope to see you soon, and I'm sure we are all looking forward to AUG 31 to see how that thing goes.
No doubt. I look forward to, at the latest, hopefully seeing y'all in Gainesville. I know SEC Nation, we're going to be there for the game, and that's going to be so much fun. So hopefully we'll see you there, and it's going to be crazy. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it. All right. Good talking to you. Good catching up, and happy birthday.
Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, man. All right. So you can go to timtebowfoundation.org. You can find out everything that you need to know about what they are doing and how much you can help. And as he said, just $37, make a donation in honor of his 37th birthday, which is cool.
Pretty cool.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Thanks so much for watching the 1010XL Gators channel. For more college football coverage, check out the Knowles channel.